Welcome to Teal Table Talks. Join us around the table for an in-depth and behind-the-scenes look at Soundscapes and the community we serve. I'm Carol Minter, Executive Director at Soundscapes, and my special guest today is Rebecca Kim, Program Manager at our daily program at Carver. Welcome, Rebecca. Thank you so much for coming on today and being my guest.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I'm just delighted for you all to get to know Rebecca. She's just one of my favorite people. So, Rebecca, I know you've been at Soundscapes actually quite a bit longer even than I have. So I would love just to kind of start us off. Like, how did you find your way to Soundscapes in the very beginning?
Well, I started my career as a music educator in the public schools. I taught high school orchestra for 5 years. And at that time, towards the end of that time, I wanted to go back to school to practice my instrument more and learn more about my instrument. I'd have more to teach that way. And while I was in school, my husband had a lunch meeting with Ray Ramirez, and it was about this El Sistema program in Newport News, which I had heard of El Sistema back in 2008 when the big 60 Minutes segment with Gustavo Dudamel aired. And I just thought it was an incredible concept of youth empowerment and transcending your circumstances through music. And I felt like I could relate with it to some extent. I think we all can. So I met Ray at this just because I wanted to hear more about it and went back to school. And when I graduated, I came back and there was a job opening there. So as an orchestra director, which is what most of my experience was in. So of course I applied for the job, and it felt like a good fit. And here I am 7 years later.
Yes.
And I love it so much. Mm-hmm. And I get to see the things that I had made assumptions about, with the power of music and youth. So it's lovely.
Wonderful. Well, so one of the things that really struck me, one of the first really kind of long conversations that you and I had back in, I guess it was 2020, we were at the El Sistema USA conference together, and we went and grabbed coffee we skipped out on one of the sessions, don't tell anybody, but we went and grabbed coffee and just had a long conversation, and I so enjoyed getting to know you. And one of the things that really struck me during that was how you really seemed to understand the ethos of Soundscapes, that it was, yes, we are a music program, and music is at the core of what we do, and it is the engine behind what we do, but it's not the exclusive purpose of what we do. And I really appreciated the way that you saw that and you got that. So I'm curious, because now hearing you kind of describe it, so when you meet somebody for the first time and you tell them, oh yeah, I work at Soundscapes, how do you describe the work we do at Soundscapes to somebody that doesn't know it?
Let me think about that. Yeah. I, of course, mentioned it's a youth development program. I say that we do music and we hold high standards for our students, but in the end, we are teaching the whole person and using music to teach the whole person rather than touting the importance of music and teaching the person to the ends of the music, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I'll explain it that way. I'll cite El Sistema, its origins in Caracas, Venezuela, and I'll refer them to the TED Talk with Jose Abreu, Dr. Abreu, who started the whole thing, because I think the way he speaks about it, no one speaks about it like he did, because it came from his heart and his spirit and his people, and so that's kind of where it starts.
Absolutely, yeah. Recommend watching that if you haven't. Absolutely. No, that's great. I love that. So obviously you came to Soundscapes about 7 years ago, started in that orchestra director position, but made your way into the program manager position. What is it about Soundscapes, about this organization, that has kept your interest and kept you engaged?
I feel like at every level, we get to be, we have a lot of creative freedom into not only the programming or the types of concerts we put on, but also just creating the experience for the students, for the families, for the community, that although I enjoyed my experience teaching in the schools, it was kind of limited to just the school concerts in this set place and at set times. But I feel like at Soundscapes, if there's an idea you have or a vision you have for a project or a performance, you say, hey, Carol, I'm thinking about this. And then Carol says, oh, that's great. How could we make that happen? So I just love working in a place where we build on each other's ideas, and if it is going to positively impact the children, we do it.
And you're really good about that, about keeping the student centered as the focus of what we do. That's really the heart of what we need to do. The kind of decision point needs to be, is it going to be good for the students? And you're really great about that. I appreciate that about you. Yeah. So we have just finished another very successful school year. We had the concert last Thursday, and the students did such a great job. I know we've already talked about that, but the students at the Carver program, just, you could tell how much they grew this year, which was wonderful. But every year at Soundscapes is a little bit different. You have kind of a different mix of students. You have maybe a slightly different staff mix. Looking back about this year, what do you think is going to stand out to you about this year as maybe highlights or things that made this year distinct?
Yeah, well, this year we had 4 new people join our team at Carver alone, and I know at Greenwood they also had some new folks join. And just the new energy and new perspectives that people bring. I just really loved getting to know the staff and their various strengths and figuring out how we could use their skill set and also their personality and interests to just kind of curate the experience and also the concerts. There's selections for the concerts. Usually I'll say, we have this kind of theme. Let's all find something that can fit the theme, but you have autonomy over that and what is also challenging your students. And so they went with it. We had and went the extra mile as well. I mean, we had teaching artists who were writing pieces, arranging popular pieces, and even producing backing tracks for pieces just to make the experience for the young musicians like that much more special and memorable. And you can tell because they really get into the music, and you can feel that it's magical. You can feel that in the audience, and a lot of times, I mean, that's why we go to professional concerts. Our favorite artists, they create these magical moments for us, but we can get kids to do that too. It just needs some extra curation of the situation, and I just feel really lucky to have these people, these wonderful musicians and creative people on our team that are on board to make that happen for our kids and our community.
Yeah. No, yeah. I wholeheartedly agree. We have the best staff. I'm just gonna say it. We really do. Yeah. How do you decide on a concert theme? Like, how do you get that process started?
I like to open it up to the staff, and when we have the opportunity, to the kids, but a lot of these decisions do happen over the summer time. This past year our theme was the Soundscapes cookbook or cooking theme, because that allowed us to teach a lot of lessons about the process of making music, the process of cooking, taking lots of ingredients. You make your own special dish by adding a little extra of this, a little smidge of that to your taste. And it was a theme that was open to all of these learning opportunities that they could relate with, that it's easier for us to relate with too, and be able to help them make connections. And then sometimes we choose themes just based on the relevance of things going on in the world. For example, our summer theme are the Soundscapes Olympics for our summer camps. And so we're planning all kinds of events, and how can we make this feel like the Olympics, feel sportier, and in the end kind of gamify it. So we still love games, it's not something that you just leave behind in childhood. Everyone loves and is motivated by games to some extent. So how can we do that? And that's one thing I love so much about this role, is that I get to have a big hand in curating these kind of experiences and the fun. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up summer camp. That was actually my next question, was kind of what do we have to look forward to this summer? Because we've got, and my understanding is the camps are either full or close to full, right? We've got over 100 students coming between the two, I think in June and August.
Not quite.
Not quite getting there.
Yes.
Okay.
There is a total of, we could accept up to 100 students.
Phew, okay.
If the students only go to one camp or the other.
Oh, I
we
see.
have our June camp in August.
Yep.
But as of now, we have full camps.
Okay.
But if more students wanted to enroll at the last minute, we could fit them into the second camp.
Okay, good.
So, yeah.
Good. So if there's some families watching and you haven't signed up yet, time to get in for August. Good. Yeah. I know that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, they always have a great time, and one of my other favorite things about it is that we combine all of our levels into one mass pep orchestra, we call it, and with our theme this year, we're thinking about calling it the Dream Team, or the All Stars, or something like
perfect.
that eliminates all levels, and we just get to enjoy being a whole.
I love that. Very good, very good. So speaking of fun, so one of the things that's really wonderful about students, there's so much about it that is just really joyful about working with students. There's also a lot of humor that comes from working with students, both, from the students themselves, from, I think, our team just has a wonderful sense of humor. Just curious if there are things that kind of stand out to you as maybe one of the funnier things that has happened in your time at Soundscapes. I'm sure you have a lot to choose from. I'll ask you to curate your answer somewhat.
Well,
don't get anybody in any trouble.
One thing that is always really promising in that way is if you're teaching a concept, or especially when you're teaching like your routine or, appropriate behaviors and conduct towards each other. If you have the students role play.
Oh, yeah.
Especially role play, the kind of things that get in the way of our rehearsals, and just let them have at it. And it's really funny to see them just let all that out. It's really funny. Yeah.
That's good.
Be the most disruptive and make it the hardest for this soloist to do their job.
That's good. The worst ensemble member that you can be.
Yeah. And then
get it out right now. Let everybody know this is not okay.
Yeah. And then
that's fun.
They also get the point a lot quicker, and it is fun because we're not being ourselves. We're putting ourselves in roles, and we can see more objectively, I guess.
That's good. That's good. And the other thing just about working with young people is just it really can be just immensely rewarding. Are there moments or things that stand out to you as particularly, oh wow, this is incredible, I'm so glad to be a part of this, kind of rewarding moments?
A lot. I think in general, one of the things that I love so much about Soundscapes is that we see a student for most of their school career, from second grade until they graduate.
Yeah.
And just seeing them develop from point A to Z, let's say, is it's just really beautiful. And having been with the program for 7 years now, like, I've really seen so much growth musically, but just seeing these kids, these children turn into just really great people.
Yeah.
And that's so special that we get to experience that much life with them. And then the intensity of seeing them 5 days a week too. You're able to just work on the music and the feelings behind the music and everything just at a really deep level. That's just really special. And some of the seniors we have this year, and last year we had a really special group of seniors too. Just seeing what our seniors coming back and visiting us, our college students coming back and visiting
that's been
us.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And seeing the great things that they're doing, and now they're thinking about how they want to impact the world and how they want to use their music skills to bring joy here, or to teach here, or whatever their passion is. It's just, there's just nothing like that as an educator. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, you captured it perfectly, so that's great. Well, I'm not sure how many of these you've watched, but we always end every Teal Table Talk with our rapid fire 4. So we've got 4 questions coming at you.
All right.
And I know some people have said before, they're like, I don't know how quick I can be with the answer. I just have to be quick with a question. So no pressure. Okay. Number 1. If you could snap your fingers and learn to play a new instrument instantly, what would you choose?
Guitar.
Amazing. Yes. Now, I don't think we've talked about what your primary instrument is.
I play the viola primarily. Yes,
So that would be quite a switch.
It would. And that's why. It's just something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. You could rock out on the guitar. I'm all for it. This is good. Okay. What is one of your favorite local places to eat, and what's your usual order?
Well, I love coffee shops. And The Cure in City Center has, and this isn't the food side, but they have a really amazing orange mocha.
Ooh, I haven't tried that.
It's delicious.
Okay.
So good.
I will check that out. Fantastic. Okay, good. What is your go-to song or artist if you need to boost your mood?
Well, actually, on the way here, I listened to the first movement of the Mendelssohn Octet because it's just so sprightly and joyful. Yeah. And he wrote it when he was a teenager, and so it has a lot of that kind of optimistic, the world is your oyster kind of energy. And it really made my commute really beautiful and fun and nice. Yeah.
If it makes a commute across the bridge tunnel joyful and nice, then that's a real testament right there. Yeah. Amazing. And then for this last one, I'm going to ask that you answer this one directly into that camera. Okay, here we go. What is one piece of advice that you'd like to share with our students at Soundscapes?
Just keep reminding yourself how wonderful you are. Every day. Every morning, get up and just say, you're great. No matter what happens, good or bad, amazing. Just keep remembering that you're great. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, that's it. Thank you, Rebecca. This was a delight. I so appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. And thank you for watching and listening.
Thanks for joining us around the Teal Table. To see full Teal Table Talks episodes, recorded performances, and other videos from our program, subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/soundscapeshr.